on the occasion of National Science Day, we are going to enact the adaptation of Bertolt Brecht's Life of Galileo.
I request all of you to switch off your mobile phones. Now we present before you Heaven Abolished.
Sorry.
In the year 1609, science's light began to shine. At Padua city, in a modest house, Galileo Galilei set out to prove that the sun is still and the earth is on the move. Galileo's humble study in Padua. It is morning. A boy, Andrea, the son of the housekeeper, brings him a glass of milk and a roll of bread.
Good morning, Mr. Galilei.
Ah, Andrea, my boy. Put the milk on the table. Ah, but don't shut any of my books.
Mother says we have to pay the milkman. If we don't, he will soon be making a circle round our house, Mr. Galilei.
The expression is, he will be describing a circle, Andrea.
Alright, if we don't pay, he will soon be describing a circle round our house, Mr. Galilei.
While the tax collector, Mr. Gambani, will come straight here by taking what sort of line between 2 points?
The shortest.
Good. I've got something for you. Look beside the star chart.
What is it?
That shows how, according to the ancients, the stars move around the earth.
How?
Let us examine it. Start from the beginning. What do you see?
In the middle is a little sphere.
That is the earth.
And then, all around it, one outside the other, there are other spheres.
How many?
5.
Those are the crystal spheres.
The outer sphere has little dots on its surface.
The stars.
There are strips with words on them.
What words?
The names of stars.
Such as?
The lowest sphere is the moon, it's written on it, and above it is the sun.
And now, imagine the sun and the other spheres moving around the earth.
That's beautiful. But we are so shut in.
Yes. I felt that too when I saw the thing for the first time. Some people do feel it. For 2000 years, men have believed that the sun and the other stars of the heaven revolve about them. They believe themselves to be sitting motionless within the center of this crystal sphere. But now we are traveling headlong into space, Andrea. For the old age is past, and this is a new age. During the last 100 years, it has been as though men were expecting something. The cities are narrow, and so are men's mind, superstition and plague. But it is not going to remain so. For everything moves, my boy. Soon mankind will know the truth about their home, about the heavenly body on which they dwell. What is written in these old books no longer satisfies them. All the world says, yes, that is written in the books. But now let us see it for ourselves. The most solemn truth are being tapped on the shoulder. For where belief had prevailed for thousands of years, doubt now prevails. Overnight the universe has lost its center, and by morning it has countless ones, so that now each and none is regarded as its center. For suddenly there is plenty of room. Do you understand what I told you yesterday?
What? All about that Copernicus and his rotation?
Yes.
No. How do you expect me to understand all that? It's very difficult.
I particularly want you to understand it too. That is the reason I'm working and buying expensive books instead of paying the milkman, so that people like you can understand it.
But I see that the sun is in a different place in the evening than what it was in the morning. That way, it can never be standing still. Never, never.
You see? What do you see? You see nothing. That is the sun. Come, sit down. Now, Andrea, where is the sun? To your right or to your left?
Right.
And how can it get into your left?
If you take it to the left, of course.
Is that the only way? Now where is the sun?
On my left.
And did it move?
No, it didn't.
Well, then what did move?
I did,
Wrong, you idiot. The chair did.
but I went with it.
Of course you did. The chair is the earth. You are sitting on it.
This isn't true. When I was in the chair, you only turned it around horizontally, but not like that. Because if you had done that, I should have fallen off the chair. And that's a fact. Why didn't you turn the chair upside down? Because it would have then proved that I fall off the earth when it turns around like that. There you are.
But Andrea, I proved it to you yesterday.
But last night, I discovered that if the earth really rotated like that, I would be hanging head downwards at night. And that's a fact.
Look. This is the earth.
So what about it? If this happens to the earth, why don't I hang head downwards at night?
This is the earth. And this is you, standing on it. And now, the earth rotates.
And now, I'm hanging head downwards.
How? Look carefully. Where is your head?
There, down below.
What? Isn't your head in the same place? Aren't your feet still on the ground? Are you like this when I turn the earth?
No. But why don't I feel the earth turning?
That's because you are turning with it. You, the air around, and everything that is on the sphere.
And why does it look as if the sun is moving?
Now below, you see the earth. That stays the same. It is always below you. Now look above. The lamp is over your head. And now, I turn the earth. Now what is over your head?
The books.
And where is the lamp?
Down below.
There you are.
That's fine.
What are you doing with my boy, Mr. Galileo?
I am teaching him to see, Siddhartha.
By lugging him around the room?
Stop it, mother. You don't understand any of this.
Don't I, huh? But you understand, huh? A young gentleman has come wishing tuition. He is well dressed and brings a letter of recommendation. You'll soon have my Andrea saying twice 2 is 5. He already muddles up everything you tell him. Yesterday evening, he was proving to me that the earth goes round the sun. And he is firmly convinced that there is a gentleman called Copernicus who has worked it all out.
But didn't Copernicus work it all out, Mr. Galileo? Explain her yourself.
What? Are you really teaching him such nonsense so that he'll go and chatter about it at school? And then the principal will come complaining to me because he repeats such unholy stuff? You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Mr. Galileo.
Well, as a result of our investigations and after bitter dispute, Andrea and I have made discoveries which we can no longer withhold from the world. A new era has dawned. A great age where it is a joy to be alive.
Well, I hope in this new age we can pay the milkman. Do me a favor and don't send this one away as well. I'm thinking of the milk bill. Andrea, come with me.
Sarthi, please send the young gentleman in.
Yes, I'll send him in.
Good morning. My name is Ludovico Marsili.
You have been in Holland?
Where I heard much of you, Mr. Galileo.
Your family owns estates in Campania.
My mother wants me to have a look around, see what's happening in the world, and so on.
And you heard in Holland that for example, was happening in Italy.
And since my mother wishes me to have a look around in the world of science too.
Private tuition. 10 scudi a month.
Very well, sir.
So, Ludovico, what are your interests?
Horses?
Ah,
I have no head for learning, Mr. Galileo.
indeed. In that case, it will be 15 scudi a month.
Very well, sir.
I shall have to take you early in the morning.
That's fine. But you will have to have patience with me. Particularly since in science, everything is different from what plain common sense tells one. You take, for example, that funny tube that they're selling in Amsterdam. I examined it closely. Just a casing of green leather and 2 lenses. One like this and one like that. I hear that one enlarges and the other diminishes. Any sensible person would think that they cancel each other out. Wrong! One sees everything 5 times as large through that thing. And that's your science for you.
What does one see 5 times as large?
Church spires, doves, everything that's far away.
You yourself saw the church spires enlarged like that?
Yes, sir.
Aha. And the tube had 2 lenses. How old is this discovery?
I don't think it was more than a few days old when I left Holland. In any case, it had been longer on the market.
And why does it have to be physics? Why not horse breeding?
My mother thinks that a little science is necessary. All the world takes a drop of science with their wine nowadays, you know.
In that case, you could just as well choose a dead language or theology. That's a lot easier. All right. Come on Tuesday morning.
Thank you, sir.
What? Don't look at me like that. I've accepted him.
Because you saw me at the right moment. I just hope he stays till the bills are paid.
Don't be so optimistic yet, Sati. For the moment, he only means 15 scudi. Sati, please send Andrea down to the spectacles maker for 2 lenses. Here are the particulars.
Days gone by, knowledge passed on, toil and nights by the beautiful moonlight. Galileo Galilei, observing the moon from his study, eager to prove that the sun is still and we are all on the move. It is evening, Ludovico, now being tutored by Galileo, enters his study.
Good evening, Mr. Galileo.
Good evening, Ludovico. Come, have a look at this thing. Does it look familiar?
Oh, it's exactly the same thing I saw in Holland. But how did you make it?
I pointed the tube to the moon last night.
And what did you see?
It has no light of its own.
What?
I tell you, astronomy has been standing still for thousands of years because they had no telescope. Do you know what the Milky Way consists of?
No.
Stars. Countless stars. Now look at the moon through the telescope. What do you see?
The edge of the crescent is quite uneven, jagged, and irregular.
Look again.
And in the dark half, near the luminous edge, are luminous spots. And they appear one after the other.
How do you explain those luminous spots?
It cannot be.
But it is. They are mountains.
On a star?
Yes. Giant mountains whose summits are gilded by the rising sun, while all around night still covers their slope. You can see the light descending from the topmost peaks into the valleys.
But that contradicts all astronomy for the past 2000 years.
Yet that is how it is. What you see has never been seen by any man besides myself. You are the second.
The moon cannot be an earth with mountains and valleys any more than the earth can be a star.
The moon can be an earth with mountains and valleys. The earth can be a star, an ordinary heavenly body, one amongst thousands. Now look at the moon again. Do you see the darkened part of the moon? Quite dark?
No. When I look closely, I can see pale ashen light upon it.
What sort of light could that be?
What?
It is the light from the earth.
That's nonsense. How can the earth shine? Just a dead body with its mountains and forests and seas?
In the same way as the moon shines. The moon and the earth are illuminated by the sun. That is why they shine. But the moon is to us. We are to the moon. Sometimes the moon sees us crescent. sometimes full, and sometimes not at all.
So, there would be no difference between the moon and the earth?
Evidently not.
Not 10 years ago, a man was burnt in Rome. His name was Giordano Bruno, and he alleged just that.
He did. And now we can see it. Keep your eyes at the telescope, Ludovico. What you see means there is no difference between the heaven and the earth. Today is the 10th of January, 1610. Mankind will write in his journal, heaven abolished.